Before we go anywhere else today, let me say this clearly. You don't have to pretend that you're stronger than you are. You don't have to fake fine. You don't have to lead with your highlight reel. You don't have to carry the pressure like it isn't heavy. You know, somewhere along the way, a lot of us learned that faith meant having it all together. But today's word of life says something different. Hebrews 4:15 says, "This high priest of ours understands our weaknesses, for he faced all of the same testings we do, yet he did not sin." So he understands, not observes, not critiques, not rolls his eyes at. He understands. That means your weakness doesn't shock God. Your fatigue doesn't disappoint him. Your humanity doesn't disqualify you. This week, we've been saying you're still becoming. And becoming includes days where you feel unsure. Becoming includes days where you feel stretched. Becoming includes days where you're doing your best just to show up. Yeah. Hey, I'm Steven, and thanks for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm really glad you're here this morning, and I wanted to remind you of these simple truths. You're allowed to be human today. Grace meets you where strength runs out, and we're just getting started. Stick around. I got a lot of show ready for you, and I hope that you are feeling it this morning. When I was getting ready, I looked in the mirror. I'm like, you know what? Today is going to be a good day. I feel it in my bones. And so I believe that for you today. Today is going to be a great day for you as well. And hey, I'm so glad we get to hang out together. I mean, we don't really need reminders that we are human, but we do get them from time to time, right? Yeah, this happens to me too. Here, I want you to listen to Craig Groeschel. He's got a little truth that might hurt, but it is super true, and it's something to really think about today to make your day even better. So take a listen to this.
This is super important. The place that you're most confident that you're right is often the place that you're most vulnerable to being wrong. I want to sit there for a moment. Wherever you say, oh, I'm sure about this, and they're all wrong, and they're a bunch of idiots, wherever you are that you dig your feet in the deepest may reveal the place where you lack perspective. Not always, but often.
It's one of the strangest feelings in the world to feel like, hey, I know this. I can't be wrong about this. I stake my identity on this. And then you find out that you were actually wrong. Wow, that one is a hit. Straight to the heart, it feels like. Because it's like, hold on a second. I'm supposed to be an expert in this, and I just got this wrong? Well, I feel like 2 inches tall. I've been there before. Oh, it's a gentle, well, not so gentle reminder sometimes that we are human. We are going to mess up. And you know what? The biggest takeaway for me is when that happens, when you do realize that you were in the wrong, you don't have to beat yourself up about it. You can forgive yourself. You can maybe even ask forgiveness from other people because maybe you were a bit of a turd about the whole situation. So apologies go a long way, and realizing that, hey, no, we don't really have it all figured out. We try our best, but you know what? Sometimes our best is just not there because we're not perfect. And that's what today's show is all about. The thing about being human is that we are imperfect. And that imperfection, well, sometimes it can be quite messy. I got to experience that this morning. So I love getting like a breakfast special from Jack's, right? Now, the way that I get it's with sausage, no grits, double gravy. I love their biscuit and gravy, right? So that was my order this morning. It was part of my order. That's what I got. Well, as the guy hands it to me in the drive-thru window, he said, sorry. And I kind of caught it, but I kind of didn't. I'm not sure why he was apologizing until I got here and opened up my container. Because you see, everything on the inside of that container was encased in gravy. I don't know if somebody dropped it or if they accidentally put it in the bag upside down and realized it and then put it right side up. Because everything had gravy all over it. But thankfully, I love the gravy. And so I was happy just to tear up the biscuit and go to town. Now, I could call them out on their mistake, say, hey, they need to be more careful when they package this stuff. But you know what? I chose to embrace the messy this morning because the messy just happens to be delicious. Now, does it always work that way? No, it doesn't. And do people get their feelings hurt when you point out imperfections? You bet they do. I mean, hey, you're not perfect either. Do you like it when people point out your imperfections? No. Yeah. It's one of those things, we navigate these waters as best we can, and sometimes it makes us feel inferior. But today I want to remind you that you are not less than because of your imperfections. Maybe you're just a little more delicious because of them. Like that biscuit and gravy everywhere. Did I succeed? Did I put a smile on your face? Did I make you chuckle just a little bit? And did I make you hungry? That's the big question. Thanks for being here. So glad to be doing life with you. All right, for our students, before you walk into school today, this one is just for you. You do not have to be the funniest. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most popular. You do not have to have the perfect outfit. You don't have to know all the answers when the teacher calls on you. You are allowed to be human. Listen, everybody in that building is pretending just a little bit. Pretending that they're confident, pretending they're not nervous, pretending they've got it all together. But here's the truth. The strongest person in the room is the one who doesn't have to fake it. If you mess up a word when you're reading, guess what? You're still becoming. If you miss the shot, you're still becoming. If someone doesn't text you back, you're still becoming. You don't have to prove yourself today. Just show up. Do your best. Be kind. Be steady. And that's real strength. And if today feels a little awkward, good. That means that you're growing. Now, I want you to go in there brave. But before you do, we're going to have a little fun. So, I wonder, you want to play a game? I think we need a little exercise first. How about a happy dance? So if you're listening to the podcast for the first time, you're probably like, what are you talking about? A game? Well, let me tell you, there are two versions of today's show. One is the targeted version. Likely that's the one you're listening to on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, or YouTube. Now, here's the deal. Within today's episode, in the description, I've got a link to the Family Edition playlist on YouTube. Now, it is unlisted, so you can't find it except by using that link. That's where you're going to find the game that I'm talking about. And hey, that's a great opportunity for you to have your kids listen along live. I'm on from 6 to 10, Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. And we play this game called the Car Line Competition. We give our players an opportunity to win 3 gift cards. And we have different themes for different days. Like, for instance, Mondays, that's Miracle Monday. Tuesday is, Trivia Tuesday. Wednesday is Wacky Word Wednesday. Thursday is 3 Clue Thursday. That's today. And Friday is Fast Pass Friday. So, an opportunity to call in and play. Now, if your kid doesn't live here in North Alabama, they can still play because they can roll that train and get those 3 gift cards rolled into 6 and then to 9. And that's actually what's about to happen this morning. I'm recording this after the fact. So, just wanted to give you a heads up. If you ever want to hang out with me live or have your kids listen along live, go to 885jfm.com, click the On Now button, and press play. And if you ever want to hear the Car Line Competition, we'll go to that family edition of the podcast by the link in the description. Okay? All right. Just wanted to give you a heads up. And by the way, the music that I'm pitching to this morning, you can't hear that on the podcast either. But don't worry. I got you covered right there in that same description. I got some links ready for you. Okay? All right. Let's get back to the show.
This is Pastor Larry Walls with your Drive Time Devotion. Female astronaut Shannon Lucid was not supposed to set an American record for time spent in space. However, her assignment was extended 1.5 months because of technical difficulties with the shuttle booster rockets and 2 different hurricanes. The result was that Lucid stayed in space 188 days, setting a U.S. space endurance record and a world record for a woman. She returned to Earth to high accolades from politicians and NASA officials, as well as the loving arms of her family members that had been waiting for her. Something that reports failed to notice in the wake of Lucid's record-setting stay on the Russian space station Mir was the excellent reputation that Lucid had with a Russian host. That reputation was based not only on our technical expertise as an astronaut, but on the fact that her Russian counterparts never once heard her complain during her 6-month stay. Every time Lucid was notified of a shuttle delay, she took the news in stride and continued on. The Apostle Paul to the people in Philippi encouraged the people there in Philippians 2:14 this, to do all things without murmuring and disputings. You must know that Jesus can turn water into wine, yet he cannot turn your whining into anything. Pray with me. Dear God, help us that in bad times and times of turmoil, that we don't let our attitudes seem negative and speak words to bring other people down. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I want to talk with you a little bit about an art form. It's from Japan. It's called Kintsugi. Have you ever heard of it before? You see, when a bowl breaks, they don't throw it away. They don't glue it. Well, they don't just glue it back together and try to make it look untouched. Here's what they do instead. And this is the game changer here. This is what this whole break hinges on. Because I want you to feel the importance and the gravity of it. They don't glue it back together and try to make it look untouched. Think about that for a second. Because that's the first thing we try to do when something's broken. We try to glue it back together, make it look like it did, like the break never happened. But here's what they do instead. They melt gold. They fill the cracks with it. The fractures aren't hidden anymore. They're traced. They're highlighted. They are honored. And here's the part that stays with me. The bowl is considered more valuable after it's been broken and repaired. Think about that. Most of us have been trained to hide our cracks. We smooth over the story. We minimize the scar. We pretend the break never happened. But what if the places you feel weakest are the very places grace is most visible? Hebrews says Jesus understands our weaknesses. That means he doesn't meet you at your polished version. He meets you at the fracture. He doesn't pour gold into perfection. He pours it into cracks. And maybe the thing you've been trying to conceal is actually the place God intends to shine. You're not less valuable because you've been through something. You might actually be stronger, wiser, more compassionate, more real. You're still becoming. And becoming sometimes looks like gold in the cracks. So, does that change your perception of faults and flaws? Does it show you that God can do something beautiful with even your broken places? Because that's what it tells me. That I'm more valuable because I've been mended. And I've got a story to share. I've been through a few things. You have too. I just wanted to remind you of it. Today we're talking a little bit about worth, aren't we? Yeah, well, here's one thing. We are not perfect. That's just part of being human. We are imperfect creatures. Yes, we have flaws. We fall short, but you know what? It doesn't mean that we bring less value to the table. God kind of, fixes that problem for us, doesn't he? He's got grace. He's got mercy. And I'm so thankful that he does, because none of us could do this thing flawlessly. There's only one person who could, and that was Jesus. He did. That's the reason why we have this hope of salvation today. So I wonder how you see yourself. Do you see your own worth? I came across this author, and she's doing a little research for her new book, but she just had to stop and share this because it meant so much to her, and she thought it would mean so much to you. I think it will too. So listen to this.
Saw a quote the other day that said, "Your value is not determined by someone else's inability to see your worth." And honestly, I could not agree more. But it's a hard lesson to learn, because when you constantly have people in your life that don't see your value, it's hard to see it in yourself. Many of you know that I'm an author, and when I was researching for my most recent book, Leaving Defeat, I came across some information that I want to share with you because it changed my whole perspective on self-worth. There is a famous painter by the name of Jackson Pollock. You may or may not have heard of him. He's the one whose paintings kind of look like paint is just splattered all over the canvas. There doesn't seem to be any real rhyme or reason to it to an untrained, unartistic person. But one of his most famous paintings sold for over $200 million. But for us, we may look at a painting like that and be like, 200 million? That's not worth $5. My toddler could pay something like that. But here's the kicker. We don't get to determine its value because we are not the creator of it. I did not create that painting. So it doesn't matter if I say that painting is worth $5 or worth $200 million because I don't get to put a price tag on it. Only the creator can do that. See where I'm going? Nobody gets to put a price tag on you except for your creator. And he already did that. And he said that you were worth the price of the blood of his innocent, perfect son. How much do you think that's worth? Because that is the value that he's placed on you. Let that sink in for a minute. So if that is the price that the creator of the universe has put on your life, why are you so concerned with what Susie down the street has to say? Why are you so concerned with what your mama's friend has to say? Why are you so concerned with what your coworkers have to say? You don't even like them anyway. Why are you trying to win their approval? I'll tell you why. It's because you don't know your own value. And because you don't know your own value, you're looking to everybody else to tell you what it is. You're trying to earn it through your actions. But hear me when I say that if you sat on your couch and never did anything else for the rest of your life, God would still count you valuable enough for the blood of his son. And if that doesn't shift your perspective, I don't know what will. So how about we get out there and act like we know who we are? Let's go face the day knowing that we are children of God who's been bought for a price. A really, really, really high price at that. Don't let anybody tell you what you're worth unless that person is God himself. No more of the pity party. We're done. We're moving forward. We're standing in our value. We're going to seize the day.
Seems like you forgot again, so let me remind you. You've made it through things you thought would break you. You've stood alone in rooms where no one noticed your pain. You've smiled with a heavy heart just to make others comfortable. You've survived days you didn't think you'd get through. Nights where your mind wouldn't stop racing. Moments where everything felt like too much. But here you are. You've been the strong one for so long. You forgot how far you've come. And you forgot it's okay to rest. That you don't have to carry it all. So if no one's told you lately, I'm proud of you for holding on. For still trying, even when it's hard. You're not behind. You're not weak. You're human. And that's enough. And you are loved by the God of the universe. Let that sink in for a second. Before we close this day out, I want you to remember something. There's a reason that art form we talked about earlier, Kintsugi, fills the cracks with gold. Oh, maybe you weren't here. You didn't hear that break. Well, you can catch it on the podcast, but basically, it's this. Whenever pottery is broken, they'll melt gold and fill the cracks with it. And here's why. Because the break didn't ruin the piece. Gold doesn't fill perfect pottery. It fills what's been broken. It revealed where it had been tested. And some of you have been tested by pressure, by disappointment, by fatigue, by life not going the way you thought it would. But the cracks, they don't make you weak either. They show where grace has already met you. You don't have to walk into this day pretending you're unshaken. You don't have to hide the places that feel tender. You don't have to perform your way into worth. You are still becoming. And becoming isn't polished. It's formed, it's refined, it's strengthened. So walk into this day steady. Let grace, just like that gold, fill the cracks. Let strength rise quietly. Let courage look calm. And when the pressure shows up, don't shrink. Stand. Not because you're perfect, but because you're held. Now, I want you to have a powerful Thursday. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for the Lifeline Morning Show. I can't wait. Have a great day. Keep it locked in right here to 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Well, here you are. You made it to the end of the show. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Hey, I wanted to give you a heads up because you probably got this idea, but I'll just go ahead and tell you. This show is actually taken from a live radio show that happens Monday through Friday from 6 to 10 Central Standard Time. And so you're going to hear me pitch to songs. And I think I've already talked about this, but just in case I haven't, those songs can still be enjoyed. I can't play them on the podcast, but I do have them in a couple of places on today's description. I've got a Spotify playlist, and I've got a separate song list, so you can still enjoy the music. Plus, there's a family edition of today's podcast that you can find by that link right there in the description for the family edition playlist. That takes you to YouTube, where these are unlisted. So you can check out all of the behind the scenes, the in-betweens, the shout outs, and all the good stuff that happens that doesn't make it on the focused version of the podcast. Okay? All right. So I think that covers everything. Oh, an invitation to you. Anytime you want to come hang out with me live, I would love to have you. In fact, Preston, that's how he heard about us, was through the podcast. And then he came and started hanging out with us live. And I hear from him every week. He requests songs. We interact. In fact, he just recently got rebaptized, and I thought that was awesome. He told us about it. We celebrated it on the air. It was so much fun. So, hey, come be a part of the show live, or at least reach out to me in the comments on today's podcast. Or, you know what? These ways of communicating with me are open to you at all times. You can text me, 256-967-0885. You can call the studio. If I'm not here, it'll go to voicemail, and I'll call you back, 256-505-0885. Or you can always email me, Stephen, with a V or a PH, however you want to write it. I spell it with a V, but Stephen at 885jfm.com. All right, that covers all the bases. Now, share the show with somebody, and have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.